Don Miller, the bored a-hole here. Thank you very much for joining me for my weekly, well, kind of weekly, whenever I decide to do it, if I'm completely honest, should you listen to them series. And again, I always want to point out I did one of these on myself. Should you listen to me? No. You should build up trust with whoever you're watching on YouTube and decide, do I like this person? Do I not like this person? And I think most people are going to have some good advice and some bad advice, right? Because they don't know you. So always make sure you are walking carefully. Every week I ask the comments, who do you want me to do next? This week it was Jeff Seid. I mean, it could be pronounced Seid, but I doubt it is. It's Jeff Seid. I think he's one of these Gymshark guys. Not allowed to say Gymshark on fitness YouTube. Everybody goes nuts. Everybody gets mad at Gymshark. I mean, that guy absolutely smashed it. I don't 100% know what his... I don't want to say what his remit is. I'm going to read his about page, actually, which I should have done beforehand and forgot. But he's a 25-year-old... 25? Where do I think I'm? Ireland. He's a 25-year-old natural bodybuilder who has dedicated 14 years to bodybuilding. 14 years? He started when he was like 11 years old? Well, fair play to him. Aspiring to build the perfect aesthetic physique and promote the healthy aesthetic lifestyle. Going to assume he didn't write that. But look, I will always say this. I can't moan. I can't, go after this guy too much. He is smashing the game. 1.26 million subscribers. That's an incredible thing. So the video I picked was One Last Game, Bulking Diet Explained, because I thought he's going to go into some stuff. Because he plays Fortnite and things like that, so I didn't want to go over a random video. But yeah, Jeff Seid, should you listen to him?
People are asking me what I was doing exactly for the bulk. Number one most important thing when you're bulking is you got to eat a load of food. If you heard of Rich Piana, you already know this. You gotta eat big to get big, baby.
Okay, so interesting start. Let me go back to that thing he had up. He puts his diet up and it just says meal 1 whole food, meal 2 whole food, gym, post gym, meal 3 liquid, meal 4 whole food, meal 5 whole food, gym, post gym, meal 6 liquid, meal 7 whole food. It's like some crappy nursery rhyme. I mean, I don't know what to make of that. That's just words on a screen. It doesn't help anyone. But look, maybe he's going to go into it later, which he does. I don't necessarily think promoting Rich Piana is the best idea in the world. Now, look, Rich Piana was a massively successful dude. But he had a very, very tragic end. And when you kind of figure out some of the stuff he was doing, it's, for me personally, terrifying. Absolutely, genuinely terrifying. Also, this idea that you've got to eat a hell of a lot of food. You do have to put on a hell of a lot of food to put on muscle. I just don't think, again, maybe I'm just coming across like someone's dad. And you're allowed to say that. Simon, you're like a dad. Okay, I'm like a dad. Even though I have no kids, I'm like a dad. That's a very, very strange situation to be in. You have to caveat it. Because if I just say to you the advice is eat a bunch load of food, and then I stop, you're going to go out there and you're just going to eat a bunch load of food. You're just going to eat and eat when you feel sick and eat. And I did that when I first wanted to put on size when I was 16 years old and I got into the gym. I decided I was just going to eat. And I remember having a plate of chicken and rice was falling out of my mouth because my stomach and body didn't want any more, but I force-fed myself. Was that a good idea? Absolutely not. You have to let people know, what do you mean by that? What kind of food should they be eating? How many calories should I be consuming? Because you're not this guy and he's not you, and therefore you're going to have different things. And I'm not saying that he has to have any responsibility as a role model, even though he is. But it just makes sense, and it's just intelligent to try and ensure that no one is following your words verbatim, essentially. Because again, eat a lot of food, all right? I'll eat 37 pizzas. Let's go on.
And also important, you have to also be lifting heavy weight to get big as I mean, come on. You can't argue with the results, you know what I mean? So,
good for him, man. He's one confident son of a gun, and he's smashed it in the world. But his gym bro attitude gets to me. It makes me want to take my head and smash it into a wall. Once again, you have to lift big and strong, or whatever the hell he said. Yes, he's right to a certain extent, but there are tiny, small little asterisks within that you need to... Look, again, you can go lift heavy, right? Let's say you're doing back and buys today. You can go and do a 300 kilogram deadlift for 1 rep, and then you can do 1 lat pull down for 200 kilograms. You can do 1 bicep curl, whatever. It's not the point. Do you need to lift strongly? Yes. Is time under tension more important? Yes. Is form more important? Yes. Is progressive overload more important? Yes. What the hell does heavy even mean? What is strong? If you go into the gym and you deadlift 10 kilograms, that's really difficult for you. You've done it. You have. I don't care. Oh, 10 kilograms. Who gives a... Why do you care? Go away, floating voice in the sky. Whereas somebody else may need to lift more than that. And maybe, I don't know. I just think you're throwing a lot of information out there. You've got all these people... I don't know. Something just seems amiss.
So my intensity is always the same. I'm always training as hard as I can. So, for example, what I mean by that is like, so let's say I have a rep range of 10 reps in my head. Okay, if I can do more than 10 reps, am I going to stop at 10 or am I going to go and do more? Am I going to go to failure? So that's one of the principles I train with is I always go to failure.
I agree with that, right? You need to push yourself in the gym. You need to be intense. I mean, he has just gone from doing preacher curls to doing a bunch of pull-ups. It's very, very, but it's good, right? It's a superset. There's no wrong or right when it comes to supersets. So that is good. Yes, that is the kind of things you should be doing. If you're aiming for 10 reps, you shouldn't end at 10 reps. You should take advantage of supersets, drop sets, whatever else, you can come up with. You need to find a way to break the muscle down during every session. You know this. So yes, I agree with that.
Back to the diet. So when I'm eating about every 2 to 3 hours. I'm eating roughly about 8 meals a day, so that's a lot of meals. So it's about every 2 hours. Kind of depends, but the more food, the better, honestly. So
the more food, the better. It's difficult for me, right? Because it's obviously working for him. So it's not like you can't criticize him. He's doing very, very well for himself. So honestly, I mean it. Absolutely. I look up to success. I think people that are successful should be not looked down upon, but they should be used as an inspiration for you to pick your own self up. But I just think that's if you're first starting working out, I don't think more food the better is the particularly right way to go in. Unless, of course, you're being trained. That's different. If you have somebody that's watching what you're doing and they're watching your calorific intake and you're not basically taking on the responsibility all by yourself, that changes the situation, that changes the game entirely. It really, really does. But just going in there with a more food the better mentality, you're going to wind up the other end fat. That's what's going to happen. You're going to wind up fat, then you're going to think you've done something wrong, and then you're going to be disappointed, and then you may fall off the wagon completely. And that's what we don't want.
I wouldn't track my macros when I'm bulking, and the only reason why is because I'm bulking, all right? So it's like, I don't think it's as necessary, and I don't need to be as strict. So I'm a little bit more lenient. I'm bulking, so it doesn't really matter. Once
again, I'm behind that too. But again, my ethos is more that you have to track your calories, and you have to be smart, and you have to be strict. But if you want to have a little bit of a day off, you should. You shouldn't ruin yourself mentally. But I do agree, if you're doing with the whole bulking, cutting thing, and you are going to eat a crazy amount of calories, which you can, I know what I said, but it's certainly a way to do it. If you want to be less strict on the bulking side, you should. But just know that when you get to the cutting side, you've got to be more strict, right? That's how life works. It's about balance.
I have a BMR, or basal metabolic rate, and that is the amount of calories that you have to eat a day to pretty much maintain your physique. Now, mine personally is around 3,500 calories a day. That's my BMR. So that's why I'm eating 1,500 calories surplus, 5,000 calories a day, and that's so I grow. If I want to be cutting weight, I have to eat below.
That's good, right? That's standard science. But it took him an extra minute before he threw out their 5,000 calories. I bet lots of people got to the 5,000 calorie, but I'm going to eat 5,000 calories, and they run up, and they throw up everywhere. It doesn't really make a difference. It's not his fault, right? It's not his responsibility to worry about that. But going through these videos as we do, I think it would have made more sense. But again, this good, solid advice.
So that's about what I'm doing. Sometimes, I'm not going to be exact on the 5,000 calories. Maybe some days I'll be more, some days I'll be less.
So that's where that video kind of ends. He just plays Fortnite for a bit, mostly in silence. It's kind of awkward. Felt like I was spying on him. He did another video called First Day Back in a Public Gym. I assumed he was going to show himself working out. So I thought, okay, we can get into that too. That's literally just him doing biceps and triceps for 5 minutes. Then he posed at the end. I mean, people love that stuff. That video done 273,000 views. I don't have the balls to do that. So again, I got to have respect for him there. It was fine. You can argue about his form if you want, but I thought it was decent. He's obviously in good shape. This video has kind of petered out. I mean, it's an interesting thing because I think he's more of he's not really, I mean, if you go through his channel, he's not really kind of throwing out, oh, you should do this, you should do that. It's a lot of him training, a lot of the update on his physique, a lot about how he changed his chest and stuff. So it's more vloggy style kind of a stuff. So I don't really think that he needs to be judged, the wrong word. I'm not trying to judge anyone, but I guess I am doing that by proxy. But it's not like he is saying this is the way you need to do stuff. He just throws out the stuff that he's doing. And whether you want to follow that or not is up to you. So it's kind of a difficult one. But I think as long as you try and get your information from other ways, like people like Gref Doucet or Ashley Next, but Jeff Nippard, that's going to kind of sort of round out all your information. But look, he's doing really well. It's not the worst thing in the world. Would I watch it? No, not really my thing. But he's not watching my channel either. And especially, I'm just like this small fish, and he's this giant shark that would just eat me up. The irony, because I do think he's a Gymshark guy. So there you go, Jeff C. Jeff said, where the hell his name is. I kind of sat on the fence with this one. Wasn't really what I was intending, but again, you wanted me to look at this guy, so I have. I'll phrase it this way. I won't watch any more of his videos. But it's not aimed for people like me. It's just not. It's aimed for other people, and I hope it's doing well with them. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, ding, ding. You know when videos will be going up. Got a Patreon, patreon.com/Simon316. Instagram, Twitter, @SimonMiller316. Patreon, no, I've done Patreon. Simon.bigcartel.com for merch. I'm clearly tired. Let's round this up. Thanks for watching. See you soon.